What's up BJJ fans, and of course the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey, and I'm in a hoodie and jeans because I'm going to show you 3 breakdancing techniques that will help you in Judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Let's go! The first technique we're going to take a look at is a worm. Now this is a really important movement because it's going to allow you to move on your chest and use your whole body to generate power. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start on our front, our hands just under our shoulders. We bring our chest up, and then we're going to do 2 things at the same time. We're going to bring our chest back down to the ground, and we're going to push our hips off the ground and kick our feet into the air. So when you first do this, there'll just be a little half second where you're in the air. But when you get good at this, you're going to start being able to chain it, and you'll start doing the worm. This is really useful because, like I say, we are generating power off our chest, through our arms, through our shoulders, and when we're on top of someone, they're in turtle or they're in our side control, we're able to move ourselves a lot more quickly and more fluidly than they'll be able to. The second technique we're going to look at is a flare. This movement is really important because it's getting us to generate power off our hands and through our hips, which again will allow us to move quicker and more dynamically than our partner. To do this move, we're going to start with one knee down, one knee up. On the side that the knee is down, you're going to put your hand on the floor, and you're going to kick that knee that's in the middle through the gap. You'll come through to your butt. Legs apart in a straddle. Once we're here, we bring the foot that was up before, and we bring it under ourselves. And we're going to end up in the exact position but flipped. And then from here, we can switch back to the original position. Once we do this fast, you'll be able to skip one of those steps because you'll come straight up to the starting position. This is really useful, especially if you're losing your hold down or losing your mount. It allows you to move your hips and get yourself back into a dominant position without releasing pressure on your partner, because we're still in contact with the floor the whole time. The final technique we're going to look at is a windmill. Now this is pretty advanced, so it might take a bit of time for you to learn, but it's super useful. Now first, what is a windmill? We're going to break it down. We're going to start from sitting down in a straddle. I'm going to take my right leg, I'm going to kick it over to my left shoulder. Once I'm here, I'm going to bring my right leg back to the floor. I'm going to kick my left leg so that I'm switching which side I'm on. This is the first step. Practice this a few times until you can do it fast. And you'll start rolling all the way onto your front. You'll feel it's doing it right if you're spinning on your right shoulder. Next step, once we've got to this position, is coming up onto our forearm, onto our hands, and getting our hips away from the floor this time. Next, we're going to practice going from this position where we're on all fours, feet and hands on the ground. I'm going to bring my back leg, my left leg, is going to come through, and I sit to my hip. So this is the first progression to a windmill. I'm going to do all of those in a row. That's a single windmill. Then you just do one, then the next, then the next, and the next. When you start getting good at these, you can progress them by, instead of kicking this leg through and keeping your hand on the floor and coming through to that straddle position, we're going to go from our all fours and we're going to drop our left shoulder and we're going to straight into the position, the spin that we did earlier. So this is going to allow us to chain our windmills much more effectively. And the final progression from this is we're no longer going to try and let our feet touch the ground when we finish our windmill. So we're going to chain them, rather than having my feet touch the ground and resetting into the all fours position. We're just going to keep spinning and my feet are never going to touch the ground. This is hard, so we'll see if I can do it. Ow. Now this is hard, so we'll see if I can do it. You will find some of these a little bit more difficult on mats. You'd realistically be learning these on wood, but the principles are the same. We are generating power from our hips and balancing on our shoulders, our head, and using bits of us that we're not used to standing on or balancing on. So for example, if I have someone in my guard and they're trying to pass, I'm able to spin myself upside down, move around on my head. These are the skills that we're learning by practicing these movements. So that was 3 breakdancing techniques that you can use for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo. If you want to check out my blind judo journey into international visually impaired judo, please make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Soramade.